click hit start. So we should be going live like right now. Let me change my screen.
Take a look for you.
Let's see.
Yes, from what I am seeing, you are live.
All right, we are live. Let's see if the title is right.
It says Chrono Swiss Vacheron, Constantine, Mad,
Oh,
dude. That's the one that's live right now. So you might need to just fix that up.
so I'll adjust the title. I wonder when I'll be able to figure this all out one day.
That's weird because like when you go live on SE, doesn't it usually ask you what the title of the video is going to be?
Yes, but it hasn't been changing it. So there's something in my stream settings that I'm gonna tweak. But
Oh, I
either
was like,
way,
twerk? Not seeing
nope.
you twerking.
No, we don't twerk for free.
Oh Lord.
All
Good
right.
Lord. Hail Caesar.
What's going on, Caesar? I'm just getting everything fixed on the back end here.
He's fixing the title. Isn't this the old yeah, Vimal.
Producer Vimal,
well
right on time to let
well
me
not,
speak to
it's
my
Julius Caesar
analysis.
who was like pause because you're like, I'm fixing stuff on the back
It's fixed. All right, guys. Hope
end.
everyone is having an amazing day. Let me let the folks on Instagram know that we are live. It is a beautiful Thursday in
Yeah, it feels like
paradise.
Wednesday for some reason.
It does. I can't even tell you what day of the week it is, but we are here and we're going to talk about some new watches. Anything you guys want
I
to
do
talk
that.
about, drop it in the chat. You know, we're here to talk about what you guys want to talk about, not just what I want to talk about. How's your day going, sir?
I just figured out I can flip my phone so that I can see us in like a full view on because I'm always watching the stream on YouTube, so I'm late. That's why I'm always like saying things late. But now I figured out how to see us live, and it's blowing my mind. Technology, technology.
Technology. Ah.
But I'm
All
fine. How about
right.
you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. We had a great day yesterday. Some great news for the channel and the business overall. So it was actually a great day. Even though I missed being live, it was worthy of.
Xavier Worthy.
It was Xavier worthy.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
giving.
Football's on the mind, guys. Forgive me. I'll probably be making football references until December. Are you putting up the Instagram?
Yeah, it's doing that thing. There you go. It won't let me.
Post the Instagram. Post the link.
It
Post the
wants me to
link.
use music. I want to use music. I just want to
I
post.
mean, just get it posted because it's seven watches in here watching you post to Instagram. And Vimal, producer been up. Vimal has a watch for us on monochrome for to check out. Maybe you
All
click
right.
the link. Get it popping. Get it popping.
All
Very
right. So
popping.
we are live on everything.
Oh,
All right,
we're live
welcome
on
back to
Instagram?
your favorite, not Instagram. Welcome back to
Oh,
your favorite watch show. I'm CQ, the watch guy, with the co-host with the mostest, retired watch guy Jay. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. We got Julius Caesar and the best producer in the whole of Watch YouTube, producer Vimal in the house, who is that's what our rating scale is actually named after. So we're gonna go ahead and start the show with a pick from the producer. But remember, if you need truly independent watch advice and soon live watches, because we are entering into the dealer's fair, I'll talk to you about that later in the show. Make sure you check out cqthewatchguy.com or gottliebandco.com where you can find all of our services. All right, so producer Vimal wants us to check out the new Mido Multi-4 TV chronograph, monochrome watches, which often has the best pictures in watch journalism.
this is
Let's
an
say that.
Aquanaut.
It
I
is a
see
baby
Aquanaut.
Aquanaut.
Not bad, but definitely Aquanautish.
Would you do like an Aquanaut chrono in this layout? Though I don't think you would.
Aquanautish, not Aquanaut for sure, right? Yeah, like you hit the nail on the hammer, like a nail hit the hammer on the nail. You hit it on the head. Like there's some non they didn't
These are
think
like
the design out with the chronograph layout as much. I think the non-chrono looks a little bit cleaner. when you pull up the photos of them next to each other. Better looking than what? Caesar. You think that this looks
So
better than the Aquanaut? Uh-oh, maybe I'm in the wrong here.
I like the dial. I like the dial. This is not a bad watch. This is not a bad watch. I really dig these two. So there we go. Like this, I'd rock. I wouldn't write. I don't like the time only Aquanaut. I like the multi four. Let's stop doing that.
I want to cry. Caesar thinks that the Aquanaut's overrated. I think the Nautilus is overrated. I think that the Aquanaut is something that people don't talk about enough. I
It,
genuinely think that like the Nautilus is the one that's overrated out of the sport models. Personally, I'm probably wrong.
it just really depends which Aquanaut. The 5167 is overrated, overvalued, not overrated. What it's supposed to be is just a time only sports watch, a watch for sport on a rubber strap. It used to be like under 20 grand, and I think that's the right price point for it. When you start seeing them for the 80s, I don't get it. I don't get it. So I agree with Caesar on this. I get a lot actually. I like this.
This is better than the Blue Dial. I agree.
Yeah. What's the price point we got here? Let's look at price. All right, so we have 24.90 € for either of them, of these chronographs, which is not that bad. What kind of movement we got? Meter caliber edit based movements based on a 7750 architecture, which is just a workhorse movement that will never break on you. And I think at what, right around 3,000 ish dollars, I have no complaints.
Not bad.
I like the watch. How many V-Mals on a V-Mal scale of 100 do you give this watch?
Mm, maybe like a 70, 65.
65 V-Mals. Let me just get the price. USD EUR.
Wait, what was the price in
I think
originally?
it's like 24.90. Yeah, so just under $3,000. Just call it $3,000. I give this 76 V-Mals out of 100. I like this watch.
Very specific number.
Yeah, because 75, because I think it's just a great looking watch. I give it 1 point because it makes me think that why doesn't an aqua not look like this? This is a good pick, Vimal. This is a good watch. 65 Vmals from producer Vimal himself. So you know what we got to do when we do the tech upgrade. So a tech upgrade is coming, guys, and we'll have like the numbers with like a picture of Vimal or the badger there, like blowing up. I'm gonna put that. I need my notepad, darn it. Let's keep it moving. Let's just X out this tab, and then we open that tab, and we're back on monochrome watches. Before, what watch did I want to start with? Let's start with. Let's do it. I can't help myself. Glashute Original has released a new Panamatic calendar, a skeleton dial, Blue of Dawn limited edition. Jay is gonna hate this watch, but as you guys know, I love Glashute Original, or Glashute, I always say it wrong. And I think this is a really cool variation if you're interested in a skeleton dial. I don't think it's over skeletonized, but I love it. What do you think?
It's not bad. It's not bad. I like, the whole them being the only ones who do the big date with the actual big date and not some kind of illusionary trick. It actually rings true in this watch because you get to see the discs side by side throughout the skeletonization. I prefer the non-skeleton. Like this is actually the
This is
mod, like
nice.
the one we're looking at right now. Like I like the Glashute original Panomatic calendar. Not a big fan of skeleton. I'd let it pass just because I do like the design of this watch in general. I just prefer the non-skeleton version. Like I like the setup of this style, just not the skeleton aspect. But
This
appreciate it because you get to see the big date discs, and like you typically don't get to see that.
This is a killer. To be honest, the only thing I'd change on this, and I wouldn't change anything to be honest. I wanted to say I do blued hands, but why? Whereas that's just me being like somebody who wants to tweak things. This is a beautiful watch. I haven't spent enough time looking at this piece. To be
I'm
honest,
with
the original one
Julius
is
on
beautiful.
this. I love the traditional. and I would give a pass to the skeletonized just because of how much I truly appreciate the traditional version of the watch.
Let's see what the price point is. 43.8. It's insane. It's
Woo!
insane. It's insane, bro. It's insane.
Ramal
It's
said
insane.
Shoot Original needs to get on Ozempic and bring it down to 38. I don't know if that's going to change all its problems.
Yo, so you know what's insane about this watch?
Oh,
It's a
it's
limited.
platinum?
Yes, it's a limited edition. I'm sorry, guys, if I just yelled in your ears. It's a limited edition of 150 pieces, perpetual calendar, $43,800. It's platinum. Wait, am I wrong? Am I incorrect? With a platinum folding class 43.8, Long and Sony charges you like 8 grand just for the platinum clasp, and you're gonna get a discount on this watch. Come on.
I'm confused. Like when we have
Wow.
these conversations, it's just like, what do you mean? It all makes sense.
No, but I'm saying in any other brand right now, what are you paying for a platinum perpetual calendar?
The name, you're paying for the name. Like you're paying a premium for the name. Well, we've always,
Maybe it's not a perpetual. Maybe it's not a. Maybe it's just a full
this
calendar.
doesn't look like a perpetual. Is
Yeah, maybe
setting the
it's
perpetual?
an annual calendar. It's an annual calendar.
Okay.
Still.
What I'm trying to say here is that like they can't justify selling this watch for 65,000. So what are we even talking about? It always goes back to that.
If you know
What?
the Fiat, no, I'm sorry, it's the Fiat
Oh.
500 versus the.
But there's points being made here, and it's like, and Julius Caesar, right? Me and you are on the same on vibe. Like this watch has craftsmanship. It's a very well engineered watch, but at the end of the day, what's the name on it? You know, I love my Camry, but it doesn't hold a torch to the Lexus that looks exactly like it. Even, you know, I'm trying to say like this looks like Longa, but it's not a Longa.
Well, it's not its fault. It looks like.
I know, but I'm confused though. It's like it goes back to marketing. It goes back to like how did you present yourself over the years, and like that's why Longa gets, in a sense, a reason to charge the premium. Patek, Rolex, it's because of their marketing that they get to charge a premium. Because we could sit here and say that yeah, this watch is probably better than the platinum version of it, or you know, not this watch that we're looking at right now, but prior. You know what I'm saying? We could look at a Longa that's platinum and that one and be like, oh wow, yeah, the Glashuta is the better watch. But it's hard to justify paying 43,000 and knowing you're taking a 20 to 30% hit if you ever try to resell it. It's probably even more.
Oh yeah, I want to look it up
What's
in
going on,
color right now.
Devani?
Oh no, he's back to the garage.
Oh shit,
Ah, you got it. He got you.
dude!
I was gonna do it too. Well, what's going on, Diraj? Good morning. Vimal says CQ 42 is too big for Just Watch. I don't know. Get GO. I don't get GO. I think is what he means. I don't think 42 is too big. I think you guys need to.
For a dress watch, I think it's right there. I think that he's right. I think that 42 is that's you pushing the limits on a dress watch, in my opinion. Because like in my opinion, a 6'5", 280, 300 pound man can wear a 40 millimeter watch and make it work. 42, you're getting towards the gaudy, the look at me, my watch is the same size as my fucking palm.
I think it's sizable. I think certain brands use a real estate, so it's justified. I do understand people saying it's a little bit too big, but I think this watch in 42, I'm rocking this all day. I do think it'd be nice if they made, 40 or 39, but
But so,
then
so I got a question for you, Sequan. When you
yeah.
see like those Breitlings that are 48 millimeters, the Bentleys and stuff, does that come across as dressy to you?
Depending who you are, I've seen them in dress situations. I've seen
You've
people.
seen a
If you're,
Breitling Bentley in a
yeah, come on, bro. There was a time. There was a time. This is the thing. Is like today, everybody pretends like we never wore 46s and 48s. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but I'm saying, did you wear that when you go to a business meeting, when you were trying to meet with somebody in finance? Like, yes, you're right that you can wear it to a regatta or maybe to a an event. But I'm saying, like, when you were dressed to the nines and you're trying to look professional, were you wearing a Breitling Bentley? Like maybe a Navitimer, but that was like,
there was a time. There was a time. I'm just saying, not today. It doesn't exist, but like there
Julius
was a
Caesar's
time.
making some good points here. He's saying, I guess they are targeting guys with the 8 to 9 inch wrists. He says, I have an 8 inch wrist, which is on the largest like spectrum, because you could say that typical wrists are 7.5, 7 3/4. So 8 inch is a little bit on the larger scale. And he prefers to wait at 38, 40, 40 millimeter. Okay. What do you wear, Sequan? Right now, you're at 7 3/4 now because you're not 8
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. No, I'm like a 7.5. I wear 40s, 39s,
And that's what I'm
41s,
saying. Like
42s.
42, you. It's
But
just because you want to wear something that like is bigger, and I really agree with Julius Caesar. If 38 to 40 is the dress watch, anything over that, that's fine for sport. But I do not. It's not dressy. I don't give a fuck if you put it on. The fucking. I don't care who's wearing the watch, Sequan. That's not changing my mind. It could be James Bond in the fucking watch. I don't care. You're gonna put it on what's his name? Bend him like Beckham or whatever. David Beckham. I don't give a damn if his wife's name is Paul Ice. It doesn't make the watch look dressy. And Vimal says it best. You need it to go under the sleeve. Anything that's over 42 millimeters, it's like you're like, no, no. Vimal, Julius Caesar. All right, Sequan's wrong. We've stumped CQ.
all right, all you guys have more style than
We
David
didn't say
Beckham.
all that shit. Don't.
I'm just saying.
You see,
I do, I'm just messing.
sore ass loser.
I'm just messing with you. I'll say that the prices on these are really good, even at retail 31.
But wait, real fast. Could you go real fast back to the David Beckham and like look at that watch, Sequan? You like genuinely? I'm asking your genuine opinion. Did you really feel like that was a dress watch?
I'm saying that there was a time that people wore these in the setup that he's wearing now. There were people, and there probably still are people to this day that would wear. This is at least a 46, if not a 48. That would wear a Breitling for Bentley Motors because this is the high end Breitling in a suit in that scenario.
Can I tell you something?
I feel like they've even made the watch look smaller on his wrist. To
Can
be
I tell you
honest with you.
something? In Massachusetts, when people could predict the weather, they would burn them at the stake. Did that make them right?
Look,
I'm just saying, bro. Your justification was like people used to think this was cool. Like, okay, that doesn't make it true.
taste change, man. Taste going in.
CQ, look up the Jake Paul businessman for fashion cues. Bimal just said. And Daraj makes another good point. 42 millimeter precious metal with a leather strap feels uncomfortable. I don't know, man. I
It-
think
it- I'll let you. I'll let you guys win this one. I do not look up to Jake Paul. I'm just saying I was born into the industry at a time where people weren't afraid to look, to wear a little bit more of a sizable watch. I do wish this was a solid blue dial, but I think at the price point for annual calendar in-house movement, it's a really nice watch. It's a really good watch. CQ, Vimal says, CQ, that's not true. There was no time people wore 40 watches in a business setting. There's a reason that classic watches included VC Patek or 34, 38 sizes. They did. That doesn't mean that they're right. But I sold I sold a lot of those Breitling for Bentleys to people and told them, sure, you can wear it to the board meeting.
And you sold it to them at retail. How do you sleep at night? You know, that's the funny part. You're over here telling us that you sold these poor people this 48 millimeter watch as a business, as a fucking dress watch. And you sold it to them at full retail, and you're over here acting like you did them a service.
I listen. I'm a merchant. I merch.
you're a pirate.
Julius Caesar says, I've tested my Seamaster 300 with a dress shirt, and I'm able to slide it underneath the cuff without adjustments, where it's thinner in person. Actually, the Seamaster 300 is a sneaky little dress piece if you want it to be. Vimal said, if you sold Breitling to a schmuck, he wasn't in the boardroom. Again, you'd be surprised who were buying big Breitlings. All right, let's look at the new Arnold Son DSTB True Beat Seconds 42 millimeter in mint green and ascot blue. I don't think I've ever heard the word.
I've never heard of
blue.
ascot blue. I know of ascot. I've never heard of it used in a hue form.
I'm wondering if there's there's a particular reason for ascot blue. Anyways, you got this beautiful blue shade, and the DSTB is a deadbeat true seconds, semi-skeletonized watch. You see a little bit of the escapement here, and then you have the second hand kind of beaten away, which is a pretty cool action to see. This mint green is very interesting to me. Do we have live shots of the mint green? No, we don't. I'm sad. But the blue looks very interesting. Almost looks lilac in this picture.
It's a nice watch. What's the purpose of the whole leaving the? Is that the bridge on the outside?
Yeah, well, it's just to show off the movement, right? It gives you that feeling of a skeletonized dial without it being truly skeletonized. It just mounted these movement parts on the dial, so you can actually see the full action of that deadbeat second hand working, which is a really cool function.
So it's like a skinny BBL.
Something like that. Julius Caesar says, by the way, there was a town hall at a company I worked for last year, a very important executive talking, and he was wearing a 45 dive watch with professional attire. This is a large company, by the way. Again, you would be surprised. People like what they like. And if I like 48 millimeter watches and I feel like wearing it to work, I'll wear it to work. You know, I think some people get into their heads and like, oh, we got to wear certain sizes. But again, you'd be surprised who.
I mean,
who
who's
buys
gonna tell the
Supermajors.
executive he can't wear a 45 millimeter? You know, if the
Nobody.
CEO wants to wear a 45 millimeter, you know, you just gotta bow your head and pray to God. You know?
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure Julius Caesar at the holiday party will like lean over and like, listen, I can help you get where you want to be. But, you know, if there's not enough Julius Caesars in the world, you know, we end up where we are. All right, how many V-Malls do we give the blue and the mint green? The Ascot blue and the mint green from Arnold Son.
What's the price?
Oof.
And you're right. There's not enough Julius Caesars. Way, way, way more Brutuses. Way more Brutuses.
So the blue is in platinum, 54,600 Swiss francs, 42,700 Swiss francs for the red gold, limited to 18 pieces each.
55 Amals.
55 Umals out of 100.
It's
I give
just
I give the platinum 55. I'll give this 60 Umals. I think cool watch. It's Arnold & Son. You know, I love the people over there. It just the price point is really, really tough. But I do think I would wear the heck out of this watch. Very, very interesting piece.
I mean, look, it's definitely wearable. It's just like the price point for like what I'm getting, and it's like I don't really appreciate the deadbeat second thing. So it's like complications I'm not using and paying for essentially. 35 Amals. Damn, I was high. I was high. Amal gives you
Give it that-
35.
Oh, wow.
I don't blame him. I was being nice out of respect to Arnold and his son
Man.
or
Umal's
sons.
tough. Let's look at these new Parmigiani Torque pieces.
They're like, I'm already sold on this until I find out it's 35 fucking $1,000 for one of these fucking watches. Rare Oyster asks, call it booster. Call it booster.
I was like, what's that?
Oh my god.
I was like, Carl and
Carl-
Booster.
Carl F. Bucherer Heritage World Time Peripheral Rotomotor Movement. Sorry, Jesus. 40% below 7,900 MSRP. Currently 5,000 negotiation. Maybe 4,000. Good deal. Love it in rose gold, but this is steel. Thoughts? That's a very weighted question.
All right, let's pull it up. We have
Yeah,
a
pull it up.
live negotiation from
Rare
Rare
Oyster.
So I'm gonna pull up the Carl F. Bucher in the back end.
Ramal said again, if Arnold and Son made wearable watches, it would be Arnold and Sons. He was regulated to one son. They were like, you can only have one offspring because you cannot make good watches.
Vimal's a funny guy. All right, so Rare Oyster is asking. He is looking at this watch, a Carl F. Bucher Heritage World Timer. Not this one. This is the Hodicky one.
Yeah, you went to the rare bird of it.
Ooh.
Excuse me.
Let's keep it there. Keep it there. Which one are you looking at?
He said it was the world time peripheral rotor movement. I don't know if that helps, but it's the steel version of it. So I guess that's the rose. If you or is
Very good. I just glitched everything. So there are a couple variations that came out. I don't know if this is a variation that he's.
you went black, CQ.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. Sorry.
There, there you go. I think you see me now.
Yep, I
There
can
we
see you
go.
now. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm just trying to figure out which variation he's looking at.
He said steel, but I didn't say he didn't say the dial color though.
Yes, I think it's this variation because there are a couple of variations of the Call of Bruker World Timer that came out. First, let's talk about the watch. They make Call of Bruker, which is not existent anymore, makes really good watches at really good price points. A lot of the movements are pretty much in-house as well. One thing that they do that many brands do not do is they do these awesome peripheral rotors, meaning the rotor spins around the dial, and they do it in a lot of their different models. And it's a calling card that I hope Rolex, since they own technically Carl F. Bucher now, I hope they take this peripheral rotor. What's going on, Johnny O? Good afternoon. So I think Rare Oyster is looking at one of these, and MSRP 7,900.
He
He's
said
currently seeing it at
five.
5,000.
Yeah.
He wants to try to get it down to 4,000. I think this is a steal at 4,000. A lot of people will say, "Hey, this is the brand isn't in existence anymore." I still think you'll be able to get these service. Somebody's gonna take that service in business. So that's really my only hesitation with a watch like this. I love world timers. I think this is a really good variation of one. Maybe I go blacked out personally, but I think this, especially on that bracelet, I love it. It'll
I
look good on some
appreciate
straps
the
too.
the black dial a little bit more, but the silver dial is not bad, and that's the one that he's looking at, the white silver dial. It is a nice piece, and if you can get it for 4,000, I think that's a good buy.
Yeah, I would dare say, man, even at 5, I wouldn't cry about it. Let me see something.
Go for four. Try to get if you can get 45, mazel. Yeah.
Yeah, 7,900 euro. Yeah, I'd go for it at 4. 445, I feel very comfortable with it. I think if you ever wanted to trade out of it, you'd be able to get somewhere between 3 to 45 out of it, depending on the channels you use. So a safe-ish bet, and I think a really good-looking watch. That's a nice world timer. Get it, enjoy it. Send a wrist shot when you grab it. All right, let's
You were
go
on the Parmigiani, I think.
Parmigiani. All right, so we have new Parmigiani Toric Petite Seconde Platinum Golden Hour and Rose Gold Dune. Beautiful watches. At first, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Toric case, but they've definitely grown on me, and I think this beats certain college travels for me. Not all of them, but it beats certain college travels, that's for sure. What are your thoughts before we talk price?
I like them. They're not ridiculous looking. They tell the time. They're very simple, and the straps. I like whatever. Like they do a good job of marrying the straps to the watches, at least from what I've seen in these photos. But it's very simple. I like them.
Julius Caesar says many people slightly tailor their dress cuffs for the larger watches. That is true. I once knew somebody who made a cuff where the strap would go in the cuff. So it kind of slid in there. So it's kind of part of the shirt. So yes, a lot of people get very, very creative because they want to wear their watches. And oops, I messed up the zoom. There we go. All right, let's see how much these are. What? Come on, give me 100 zoom. 100, 100. I'm sorry, man. All right, let's figure out what the price is. 47,000 Swiss franc in gold, 54,000 Swiss franc in platinum.
So the lack of complication of of the watch, and not that the movement isn't complicated, but just like it's time only, and you don't even get a date. It's just really hard for me to wrap my head around that amount of money. I get it's precious metal.
Tell me what I'm missing here.
No,
Because
it's
I
kind
like
of
the watch. It's just
yeah.
okay.
I'd like to see a little bit lower as well. Just kind of the price of watches these
What's
days.
the comparable Calatrava price? Is it the same price?
Ooh, it would be the 6119, right? These are 47,000 and 54,000. The Calatrava is gonna be cheaper. Calatrava is gonna be under 40.
Yeah, and so it's like you would have to really like Parmigiani to go this route, as opposed to just buying the Patek Calatrava and having a Patek, which is fine. You would just be zigging while everybody else is zagging for a more expensive price, in my opinion.
But let's say you could get it with a discount. Then I think it's okay.
Do you think?
Or
But
secondary.
do you not think you could get a discount on the Calatrava?
No, I don't know if Paddock stores are openly discounting like that. They might be bundling or taking carry on something else. They might be. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of that
Ah.
directly in a little bit.
We're not
But
talking
I
about
just don't know.
novelists. We're not
Yeah,
talking
but look,
about complications. We're talking about a Calatrava. They probably
yeah, but
want to
do you?
move it.
Because part of the thing is like you buy it directly from me, you get closer to your Nautilus or your Aquanaut, maybe.
Things are changing, CQ. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Diraj says retail for PF doesn't bother me as it implodes in secondary. He is right. The prices do implode. PF Toric case is stunning. I do agree. I think I would go rose gold of the Dune dial personally with a more gray strap, but that platinum is good. What are we giving these on the rating scale?
If I didn't know I could get a Paddock for cheaper, I would rate this the 65, 70. But when I think about the market overall, and I know that you can get it at a discount, even if I bought this on a secondary market, I don't know if it would be cheap enough for me to justify not going with the Calatrava like Lamal's suggesting. So that leads me to say it's like a 50, just because it's so out of its skis in price for me.
I give the platinum a 60, 60 feet miles over 100. I give the rose a 70. I really like this. I
If
can
we
see
were
myself wearing
talking
this.
aesthetics only, off the window with the price, then it would be closer to a 70 for me. But it makes no sense that this watch is more than a Patek of the same complication.
Yeah, I think pricing is all wacky. Julius Caesar says PF watches wear very well on the wrist. I do agree. One thing they have above many others is amazing wearability across their product lines. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's talk about the Piaget Altiplano Ultimate Concept Tourbillon. This is a green or khaki variation. Would you wear one of the thinnest watches ever made?
Oh, I would wear Octave Famissimo, so yeah.
Would you wear this?
No, fuck no. Maybe the one that's more solid green. I don't like the contrast of the yin and yang green and silver that they got going there. But the other version where it's more all green, I can get down with that. I'm not a fan of the two-toned dial, personally. Or tritone because it's like elements of rose in it too. What is
Yeah.
that, white gold? It better be.
I'm trying to figure. It's either gonna
If
be.
that shit is stainless steel, it better be white gold.
I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know why the pictures are so big on this side all of a sudden.
Because they're trying to display how thin it is.
So
Yo,
six.
SE, good to see you.
Hey, what's happening, SE? Good evening. So let's see the khaki green, 600,000 Swiss franc, approximately
Wait,
made out of a cobalt alloy. And then you have the yellow gold variation, which is 41,300. That is not a tourbillon, of course.
can you tell me how much?
For the tourbillon, if you want a lot of research and development, 600,000, 41 and change for this, which isn't bad.
It would need to be made out of mithril. for me to fucking buy that shit. Are you
Mithril.
mithril and forged by a dwarf, like a actual dwarf that lived in the mines, not one of the little folk. So no, highly. That's how much is the? Doesn't Bulgaria make an octafamissimo tourbillon? How much is that one?
I want under 200, maybe like 150 or less.
So I guess
I
it
might be
comes down
wrong.
to like clearly this is probably smaller or thinner. So like, do you like Piaget more?
I think you buy this because you just want to have one of the thinnest watches in the world. I agree with SC. I think it's too thin. I think you end up breaking this watch. I would definitely end up breaking this watch
Yeah, it
before
needs
I
like an
was done
outer
with it.
case. Like, what was the watch that has the outer case that you're supposed to keep it in? Like this,
Oh yeah,
might as
I
well for
forgot.
$600,000, dude. It's gonna.
Wait,
That's a.
that's the thing. You don't ding this. You end up dinging the whole watch, and it just replace the watch for you. So it's gonna be like a crazy thing. So this is the one I'll judge, and I'll actually give this 60 view miles because this is beautiful. I like how it looks.
Also, if I wanted to buy a watch and I'm afraid it'll break, I'll just buy AP Chrono. Let me tell you something. I love AP. You were so right, bro. I never
You
saw
know,
the AP that worked for longer than a month. I swear to fucking God.
he
AP
is
has some
not
of the
lying.
worst movements. One of the sales reps who trained me at 1916 used to have an AP diver, and I swear to God, every 2 months he'd have to wear his Rolex because the AP diver was in service. I'm not even trying to be
Time
funny.
only. No, no, time only diver. I
Remember,
forgot he had the
he
watch.
switched over to Rolex Sea Dwellers because it was so bad, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, love
I
AP.
kept thinking he was just borrowing a watch to wear
No,
once in
no,
a while, and
it's
it was
always
his
in
watch
service.
that was off for service. How many view miles do you give this one?
This is the Tourbillon one.
No, this is just the normal
This
thinny with the
what is this
crown.
200,000?
Like 40, 46, something. Under 50.
40, 46,000?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, 65, 60. The
Not,
Tourbillon 30.
yeah, I'm not. Tourbillon isn't registering many view miles for me, to be
It's
honest
just
with you.
ugly and expensive, and it's just like, dude, when I'm gonna pay for a clandestine night, it needs to be worth my while, and that's not it.
All right, let's do. I like this Google Force C, but I don't think anybody else will.
It doesn't look like any Google Force I've seen before, but it
It's
also kind of looks like a Chopard kind of. It's a
a
little,
little bit. I mean,
no,
it's
I'm saying like
not a
an
Fujian.
LUC almost. Like,
It does have LUC vibes. So it's a Fujian, so it's a chronograph with a sixth of a second counter there. Ooh, did they put a tourbillon down below?
just, I'll be honest with you, I'm like so with Vimal on the like a lot of these watches need to get on a like workout plan. They need to holler at Kanye West, get that workout plan because if Global Force could just be a little thinner. I am not trying to side shame, but Jesus Christ, that watch is so thick.
Yeah,
And
it's
I
a
love
thick
me some
boy.
thick. I'm just saying.
465,000 Swiss franc
I mean, that's
before
par for
sales
the course.
tax. Yeah,
Tell me how
that's
thick it is. I want to know. Tell me the thickness of the
nah.
case.
I don't even want to look because it is for sure.
Bro,
It is for sure.
it's fucking, you
Oh
can make a
man.
drink on the side of that case, baby. Like you know how they say like you can make a drink on a raft, like you can make a drink on the side of that case. Nice little
Oh
whiskey
man.
coke, shaken not stirred.
Okay, so let's do two more. Let's do
Real
J.
quick though, Rare Oyster asks, CQ, I'm also considering buying a pre-owned, at least not an executive dual time toxic sludge.
Why are you asking me these questions?
Well, the
I'm the
UN
guy.
is such a tough one. Because if it's
Which
not a
which
maxi
variation?
marine, he said the sludge, toxic sludge, so maybe that's like the color of the dial or something. I get really
No,
fickle
I
about.
think he.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I think he means toxic sludge in terms of like people like Vimal and like OC might say it's toxic sludge. I don't think they.
Oh, well, I mean, yes. If it's not a Maxi Marine, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of the UN. It's just because UN. Sorry, shut up, Jay. Shut up, Jay. Go ahead, CQ.
So for me, I love the executive dual time, man.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like when I used to sell these when these were in production, and you might be talking about a more newer one, but for the price point that you're getting, it's an unbreakable dual time. You can go backwards and the same thing that an Aquanaut can do, and you know what I mean. So the movement itself is really good. You just have to find a variation that you'd like. So these are actually great watches that like people just don't think about, and UN doesn't really
I guess
mess with.
if like you really like the aesthetic, then it's not a bad buy. You know,
No,
I just I just remember trying to sell these, and it's pulling teeth. You
they were
know,
tough.
so if
So
you're okay with being buried with it, then by all means, I think it's a good buy.
exactly, it's one of those watches, but it's also one of those watches that if you're willing to go, like if you don't want the executive version, you can go for the dual time version, which they made after, which is a little bit more modern. And look, you could get them 58.95. You know what I'm saying? In-house manufacturer movement by Ulysse Nardin. This one's in steel. I think they did blue dial, silver dial, black dial for 58.95. You beat them up, maybe get it under five. These are great, great watches. Like really, really good
Which do you
movements.
prefer, this version or the older version?
Probably this version. The older version would have to be like the blue dial, the blue dial, the blue dial ceramic on executive dual times. But I mean, rose gold, 14 grand, 11 grand. So,
So I guess the question is, do you approve of the purchase or not?
I do. If he's getting it for a good price, I don't think it's toxic sludge.
Touche. The mall threw it in a favorite UN, and I don't know if he's trolling or not, but there is a link there for you. SC said, considering how few people actually are watch people, it makes me wonder how watches like these sell because no one really knows them, and there are a few things more uncool than trying to make people notice. So SC, I found that because I sold quite a few of these like obscure watches being on eBay and Chrono 24, and you're right. This watch, who own 10 to 15 different watches, and they're just filling out their collection with quirky pieces that they really like. This is not a one watch person's watch, in my opinion. Am I wrong in saying that?
No, no, I agree. This is for somebody who's seen a lot of watches, who own a lot of watches, and they are okay inside and with what they wear on the wrist, and they're looking for different things. Somebody like this wants a unique watch. They want a unique movement. They want something nobody else has in the room or even in their watch group. These were being sold at. There are people who paid well into the 20s, maybe close to 30,000 for this. Maybe not 30,000, but there are people who paid 20,000 plus for this watch all day long.
Is
I
this
sold them. This
is
is a
this the
gold
one the
one.
mall sent?
No, Vimal sent the
You know, I was gonna say that
Michelangelo.
this is actually fire. Like, I actually was gonna say he found the executive dual time that like I have nothing negative to say about. And also to go back to SC's point, I think there's a lot more watch people out there than we like to believe. I think that the trolls make us feel like watch people don't exist because they're the ones who speak the most. They're the loudest. Whereas the watch people sit in the back and they just buy watches and enjoy. Um, I like the Michelangelo.
Yeah, the Michelangelo is a great deep cut. A lot of people don't know about it. A nice chronograph from Elise Nardin. This one is a beautiful black dial with the red
I
accents.
like the vampire aspect of it for sure. It gives me Blade, Wesley Snipes before the taxes situation. I'm all in on this one, especially the
Yeah,
price. Jesus Christ.
yeah, it's amazing. See, this one's in China, so you got the tariffs, but still, even at that place, is not too bad. But I just
China.
want to jump on you and S's point, like, and even Rare Oyster says, I love unsellable watches, and like me too. I love these funky watches, and there are still a ton of people like us who enjoy unique finds, and we're the people who get to enjoy the values that these watches are right now. But you know, it's hard. A lot of people don't want to talk about these watches. A lot of dealers don't know how to sell these watches, which kind of brings me to what I'll be starting to do soon. So Gottlieb and Co. will,
Hello, Tad.
what's going on, Tan? Good evening. Gottlieb and Co. will be, we're going to start becoming, an online watch dealer. We been in some talks with some different wholesale dealers, and one I've solidified a relationship with. I've known for a very, very long time, and things kind of worked out. But we're gonna specialize in that, like selling some of these funky watches that people don't talk about enough, that need a little bit more love, a little bit more attention to detail in their descriptions and things like that, because there's such great watches at amazing values, but people don't know about them. People don't talk about them, and the brands themselves don't even talk about it. And the brand that made this, the Yuli started that made this watch, doesn't they exist today? But there's been so many management changes and philosophy changes and design changes that it's almost a completely different company. So there are people who need to appreciate those watches, and that's what we're gonna look to do.
Good afternoon, Duke of Rissington. Thank you for showing up, brother. Never late, always on time.
That's right, sir. Dude, good to see you. And let's just look for more.
But real quick, Ramal did throw in a Cartier de Diver that he felt is a better take on this design.
He ain't wrong.
I mean, it's not fair to juxtapose a Cartier to a Ulysse Nardin. We're already like putting, you know, I don't know, a comparable Ruby Rose next to. Let me stop.
That was
I was
tough.
on Snapchat earlier.
All right, so we got the Cartier
Alright.
Caliber, the Cartier Diver, which again is another sleeper that people do not like think about. There's a time when Cartier first introduced their new generation of in-house movements, that they put it in everything and they were really forward about it. So you got the Drive de Cartier, you got the Caliber de Cartier, then you got the Caliber de Cartier Divers, and they made this one that's kind of like a Smurf. You could get them in rose gold, black ceramic bezel. These are decent watches. These are actually pretty fun watches to wear. The watches that I enjoy, and for the price point, you really can't beat it. You could probably get this close to 4,000 all day long from this dealer. You know, and watches, again, I'm not afraid to buy these naked. What do you need the papers for? Good, fun summer watch and a summer watch. This is a good
Real
pick.
quick, Duke did ask. I mean, to wrap up the point on Cartier, like you can't really show me many Cartiers that I wouldn't like. I'm a big fan of Cartier. Uh, they just know how to design watches. I guess it comes from their jewelry background. Duke of Bissington asked, "Have you checked out today's big releases? The Christopher Ward 12660, 6.6 millimeters thin, thinner than the Piaget Polo 79, and almost as thick as the 5.5 millimeter Octo Bulgari Octo. Only $1,660. Crazy value. Jesus Christ! How did they get away with designing something like that and then selling it for pennies?
It's crazy.
What's going
So,
on with Christopher Ward, man? There's something. There's something.
we're actually, I was going to end with Christopher Ward on their new piece, and they actually, they've announced that they fixed. Oh, these are pretty good. They fixed their tariff issue by doing the smart thing, which I didn't understand why they did in the beginning, but they, for a minute, because how Christopher Ward, their business works, they're directly to consumer, so they had no facility to help out with the 39% tariff, so they had to offload the full 39% to their consumers, which is not a fun experience. They have now made a Christopher Ward USA distributor from their US business, and they've changed the prices to take 29% off to make the prices back in line. I thought their business was gonna like just dive off the deep end if they didn't do something like this. So I'm super duper happy that they're able to figure it out. I like a lot of the guys over there. But let's look at their newest watch, which is the 660. Would you have kept buying a watch if it went up 39%, if you really wanted it?
It's so funny you asked that because like it's so funny that you're asking that because it's like I don't know if I can justify paying 39% more for a $1,600 watch, but then it's like, how the hell do you justify it for like the 30,000? You know? I don't know. Personally, I couldn't tell you. What about
Yeah.
you?
No, I wouldn't. I'm not paying 39% because it's 39% into the void, right? Where's my 39% going? Like, sales tax is one thing, but it's like 39%. Like, I don't even know where that money's going.
It's
I
gonna rebuild
personally,
America's infrastructure, dude. Did you not
okay,
read Project 2025? Just
sure.
saying.
So like, I don't know where that money's going. So I personally would get creative on how, you know what I mean? I would find a different way. Julius Caesar said, I think CW just increased their prices, so it's basically the same thing. Saw some people on Reddit talking about it. I did see that there was like some issues where some people said it wasn't a full reduction of 39%. That some things seem to be increased. I think for them, they're still trying to figure out how to absorb the dollars and cents of it. So I don't think it's going to be a clean 29%, 39% reduction, depending on the model. But it's much better than what they were dealing with and what they had to pass on to their consumers. As he said, I just meant someone has to be at rock bottom of the rabbit hole and flock together with other massive nerds who then tap him on the shoulder for having it. It's so easy to lose it in this hobby. He's referring to buying, watches that are off the radar, like, Ulysse Nardin, Dual Times, or Michelangelo's. Two things happen. A few different things happen. One, you discovered a hobby when you didn't have the funds to acquire things. So all the watches that you saw while you in your personal growth journey, getting your capital situation right, you've circled back and collect some of those pieces, which is something that I think about a lot of iconic pieces that I saw when I was selling watches in the beginning. I'm gonna circle around and get. Two, there are people who just love off the beaten path things, and they fall in love with a Tim Mosso video or article or something like that, and they start buying these watches into a random store and just buy something they like. So there's still a good chunk of people who end up buying these type of watches. The issue that happens, not enough dealers sell and educate in this market. So what happens right now in the main dealer sphere, unless you get like a 1916, a Collected Man, or like a European Watch Co., it's like they deal in the past 5-6 years. So they'll talk about modern stuff, but something 6-7 years old, like they'll know a little bit about it, but they won't give you a deep dive on the Ulysse Nardin Dual Time. You know what I mean? They'll know it'll be there, but they won't give you that love and passion that if you talk to them about a Patek or Rolex or something, they have all that information really easy.
Can we be honest? Whose fault goes down?
No, the brands. The brands themselves.
It's the brands. It's the brands. It's the actual stores. It's the stores like incentivizing purely off of like, percentages and margins. And it's like if people cared about curating new collectors, they would spend time educating people as to why they're buying these watches. But instead, all people talk about is like, well, this is going to be worth, it was like we had that meeting yesterday, and we had a little conversation about CPO. And remember, we had the discussion about how there's always going to be a market for people to buy CPO. And that CPO pretty much reinforces the idea of like, hey, you buy this Rolex, look, it's going to sell for 2x once you buy it at retail. Like no other brand has that. So it's like, it's up to the sales reps to truly explain why they should buy a UN. And I'm guaranteeing you, 9 out of 10 mom and pops, jewelry stores, and even major stores can't sell a Michelangelo, can't sell an executive dual time, unless somebody walks in wanting one.
You're 100% right. Duke of Brissington says CQ's Mr. Caribbean. He's too smart. He'll just go to chill in tax-free island, order his watch online, and enjoy pina colada on the beach. Let me tell you, if you're somebody who has a second home or primary home in the Caribbean or someplace like Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands, you're not complaining. Let's just say that you're not complaining. But do remember, know what you're getting into if you do dabble in certain. I'm from the Caribbean. I have a home there. I reside there, so my goods, the use of my goods and things can be justified being there. If you're not in that same situation, be very, very careful. Let's just really talk about this one before we go to. He has some other good questions there, but Christopher Ward 12. Christopher Ward 12660 with a 6.6 millimeter thin case, supremely thin watch, beautiful looking dial. Another hit for Christopher Ward. That's thin.
The thing about Christopher Ward for me is like, I like him. I feel like something's gonna come out one day, and we're just like, there's something up. There was a reason why Jay felt off about this brand.
Well, so you like OC? OC hates Christopher Ward with a passion. Right?
I don't. Did I say hate?
No. But there are a lot of people who do feel like.
Well, my whole thing is just like,
it's very interesting how they made a very beautiful watch, well designed. Like I could say that this we had the conversation about a Tudor versus Christopher Ward in the past, I feel like. And it's like I might gravitate to a Christopher Ward more than a Tudor just because aesthetically they're a little bit nicer looking. You know, Tudors are chubby. But then it's just like, what's the catch here? Why is it only 1600? What am I missing? This is mass produced.
Well, because some people are saying that could be a little bit expensive, right? Because my PRX, which is a thicker watch, right, is a thicker watch, but these are under 700. You know,
I like
I,
your Tissot more than I like these.
yeah, that's the only thing for me is like when you look at the bracelet and everything, it gives big Tissot vibes, and I like my PRXs more, but I love the dial here. So I think this is a win for them. I think they're having a very good, well-rounded catalog, and I think it's a win for them, especially with it being so thin. How many Vimals? 65. 65
40,
Vimals.
45 for me personally. I did this one day. We're gonna look back and I don't know. There's something. I feel like maybe Duke of Wellington says the only thing is some people find CW to be good, too good to be true. We all know a lot of their parts from Asia, but we are going along with the Swiss made. And that's the thing. It's just like you just went black on us again. But I'm with Duke of Brissington. It's just like when you open the hood, I, I'm on Christopher Ward. I think after hearing what Duke of Brissington said, I'm with them all 35.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the thing nobody really wants to talk about is like where the parts coming from. Are the prices justified? Again, my PRX, which is a Parmatic 80 movement, which is a great workhorse movement from ETA. Really great quality design. It's not as thin as that, but it's only $700. So is it worth it? I don't know. I think I like the looks of the watch, but I wouldn't pay the price point for it. Let's get back to the comments before we head out. We had Duke of Rissington says, well, Durad says gold prices are skyrocketing. uh, Gold prices rocketing are suggesting tariffs will play the merry devil with U.S. appetite. Subsidiaries won't help. I do agree that a lot of people will try to undervalue and play around with values, but it won't be enough. And with the Swiss franc is up, the gold prices are insane. A lot of things are really affecting the market there. Duke of Riston asked, speaking of UN and Elise Nardin, will they go bankrupt this year if tariffs hold? Them and GP, Gerard Perregaux, are at risk. I do agree that they are two brands that are very much at risk. I love Ulysse Nardin. I love Patrick Hoffman era Ulysse Nardin, which is, at least over 10 years ago now. It was an era that I really, really enjoyed. I think they made just a great variety of watches from 7,500 to over 1 million that were very, very sellable and very, very doable. The issue with UN right now is everything's too expensive. The value is there in terms of the quality of the watchmaking, what they're doing, the things that are being done in house, but the price point is just really up there. And the Dive Air is one of their most recent releases that they were pushing big for Watches and Wonders. This is a diver that's supremely light, but it's a diver that's over $40,000. Like who cares how light the diver is? Who you know what I mean? Like if this is your calling card watch for the year,
They're out of touch.
you said it, not me. Good people over there, and hoping to do some work with them and things like that. I think they're cool watches, but
My
let's
views
just.
do not reflect CQ the watch guys. They are out of fucking touch.
I mean, convince me, convince me, right? Like I'm a supporter of the people. I want to see them do great things, but
It goes back
this
to
is for.
Was that a diver watch? Why is it skeletonized? Like, what the fuck?
So
Like, it's
that's
just
the thing.
like, oh yeah, I can definitely see it a lot clearer because it's skeletonized. Like, I need to be able to see the watch if I'm underwater and I'm checking time. Like, practicality. Why are we sacrificing practicality for fucking aesthetics that don't even look aesthetic? Sorry,
Yeah. No, you're
I
absolutely
need
right.
a snicker.
You're absolutely right. So I think they're a good brand. The prices are too high. If they are not able to figure out the tariff situation, like many brands are in the same situation, I worry about them. You remember Ulysse started in Jericho, were spun off from the Caring Group. The management team were able to get ownership of the company, and it's now the Sowen Group, which is Healy Snardin and Gerard Perigo. So they don't have the same. They have some backers, of course, but it's not the same as being attached to a bigger company. Caring Group is the holder of Gucci, among other brands as well. So this is one of the brands where I would be worried about tariffs if I was them. Gerard Perigo as well, great brand, but like not the most commercially successful right now. So not a brand that could handle a 10-15% price increase, or a dealer being eaten up on the cost level. So definitely, a brand two brands you gotta, thoughts and prayers. All right, let's see what else we got here. The Raj pulled up. Raj just came across this brand. What do you think, panel? What's going on? All right. Julius Caesar says, an AD, I go into Dallas where I got my JLC, holds UN, Parmigiani, and Louis Monet, great brands. The sales associates are super knowledgeable on their brands and movement technology. That's great to hear. A lot of brands, a lot of dealers who are smart are investing in the education of their salespeople. A lot of bigger box brands aren't. But that you need, to sell Ulysse Nardin, to sell Parmigiani, to sell JLC, you gotta know what you're talking about. Nobody's gonna fork over $20, $30, $40,000 for Louis Monet if you can't tell the story of Louis Monet and how Louis Monet was the original inventor of the chronograph and all that good jazz. Keep going down the comments. Julius Caesar says, same AD, of course, has Rolex, Cartier, Tudor. So that's even better that the sales associates are well-rounded and not just trying to sell you those big brands. Let's see. Sorry, just trying to get caught up here. Vimal says, Julius Caesar says, if I was going to buy a British watch brand, I'd buy Fairs, to be honest. Red Oyster, horrible 8 brand trademark for Christopher Ward. Fine, want to make it stick with you. Vimal says, Christopher Ward cutting prices and then hiding tariff breakdown. This brand is not going places. Multiple iterations of the same design language. Fact spoken. Duke of Riston, the only thing some people find Christopher Ward too good to be true with the Asia parts, like you said. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Upvote, like, comment, subscribe. You guys are the best. Duke of Riston says, brands like UN, Gerard Perigo, Frank Mueller need thriving Russian and Chinese economies to succeed. That's been their success model for forever. Ulysse Nardin did have 4 boutiques in the Red Square in Moscow, so he's not lying at all, as he says. Absolutely, it's an interesting question. What makes someone a watch person? For me, the longer I'm in this, the more narrow my taste becomes. Taste evolves, and I think that's the one thing that people should take when getting into this industry. You're not stuck to one taste. Your taste will evolve.
You gotta get burnt. You gotta get burnt a few times before you realize what you really like, man. If you haven't been burnt yet, you're not a fan of anything. Like you're still a baby in the game. You need to get burnt. You gotta touch that stove, feel that heat, feel the pain to really win you over and be like, damn, I ain't gonna go back over there anymore. You gotta get burnt. I agree. I see so right.
I agree. So before we leave, Vimal always finds these brands. What is this, Vimal? Where is this from? The Imperial Peterhof Factory watches. I just want to see the watches, please. Rose gold, 41 millimeter. Fully manufactured movements in St. Petersburg. Okay. I would just love to see the watches, please. So I'm guessing they're, it's customizable watches. All right, so we're going to take a deeper dive on this tomorrow, Vimanka. These seems actually very interesting. I want to give a real Ooh, I want to give a real. I like this. I want to give a real review because they seem to actually be doing something very very interesting. Before we go, J.N. Shapiro has released his newest watch, which is a chronograph. If you don't know, Jen Shapiro is famous for making dials and doing hand engraved guilloche. He is an American watchmaker and designer. I believe this is going to be in the mid 20s. I did have a client who's offered these and thinking about it.
He needs to change his name if he wants to be successful.
35,500.
I just feel it doesn't have the watch vibe to it. Duke of Rissenson says Josh Shapiro, the Renaissance man of America watching. I don't think he's the governor of Pennsylvania.
It's so funny. So here's a bigger question. This is a Le Jeu Perret movement. What you pay for, what you're getting from Jan Shapiro is the dial work. So would you pay 35.5 for this?
I don't know. No, I don't like this watch.
Yeah, I think I like it. I think I stick to his time only pieces. I don't think the price is too crazy. There's a Ming watch using the same movement that's around the same price point. I do love the color and I do love the dial. I just think I just want to keep it cheap, so I just go for the time only. I don't think this is a bad watch though. I think it's a different layout that would get me more into it, and I'm not the biggest fan of mono pushers that are just using a big second hand versus like a 1 minute counter basically. But I love to see American watchmaking, still going forward. 35K is insane though for that Le Jeu Perret movement. Yep. And the California on the dial is kind of corny. I was thinking that too. Is that maybe I would love something besides California there, maybe just USA or just something else because I'm not from California, but I just love to see it under 30. To be honest with you, let's be straight tax. I think it's cool watches. I understand why it needs to be priced that way, but I would love to see this under 30 in the 20 somewhere. I think would be really really good. All right, I think that is it for today. You guys have been amazing. We did a little bit over an hour. Do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe. Tomorrow we're gonna look at darn it, tomorrow's Friday. Shoot. So we'll look at the Imperial watches. Vimal just showed up and we'll find something cool. If you have any topics you want us to cover, please drop it in the chat. And like SC says, leave an upvote if you haven't already. You got 18 people in here, had over 20 something. You guys are amazing. Let's see any in the chat. Julius Caesar says, SC, I found my lane with a few brands from lower end to higher end, but I'm not trying to collect every watch brand. I think we should do an episode about collecting as well. I'll figure out how to format it. But again, figure out your lane. It's not about price point. It's not about that. It's about what you like to collect, what you like to enjoy. Don't buy a watch because I said so, he said so, they said so. Buy a watch because you like it. Of course, take advice, take thoughts, but at the end of the day, it's your money. So you decide before you pull the trigger. Yeah, Chat Vision, what's going on? Great to see you. Thank you guys, everybody, for joining. You're amazing. We'll be here tomorrow. Duke of Rissington, SE, Julius Caesar, producer Vimal, the best producer in the game. Diraj, Rare Oysters, thank you for the question today. Tan, hope you have a great night. Johnny O, and anybody I missed, I hope you know I love you.
Goldfinger just popped in.
And Goldfinger, my island brother, hope you're enjoying paradise. And everybody who's in here, I know there's a ton of people who join but don't comment. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it so much. Again, do me a favor, comment, like, and subscribe. If you need completely independent watch advice, CQTheWatchGuy.com. We will have inventory on the site very shortly, just working on the back end stuff, but we're going into full online dealer mode, which I think will be very, very exciting. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Jay, give the people some words.
Oh well, I mean, I was gonna say happy draft weekend, but that's tomorrow. If you have any questions about who to draft, follow me at FF Silva on TikTok. I'm giving out free fantasy football advice for all you fantasy football addicts. I'm multifaceted. What can I say? Retired guy out.
Peace, guys. Have a great one. Talk soon.